All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Let's Be Real. I'm your host, Missy Riethman with BMF Fitness, and I have with me who we got.
Trent May Financial.
All right. So today, we're going to talk about Let's Be Real. Look at a subject that I think, Trent, I think you might agree with me. It is kind of about being real. When we look at some of the pictures we have to kind of talk about today, our topic is the Instagram girl. And basically, what that means is how things look on the internet, on social media, aren't really real. And I follow a fitness professional on different social media platforms. And what I love about her, and one of the reasons I follow her, is because she is very real. And so that's kind of what we're going to look at today. We're also going to kind of look at how not to take every picture for its value, because we have to remember on social media, especially, a lot of the people that get followed are professionals with photography, lighting, photoshopping, and they're doing a lot of these pictures for a reason, and they're doing it professionally. And so there's a lot of things that get covered up, right, that you and I might not be able to do or know how to do or even want to do. And I can tell you, from going through the training I went through, posing is everything. I mean, there are so many different ways to move your body that makes it look like you took off 5 pounds in just one twist. So
Wow.
it's very all about posture, posing, where you're standing, how the lighting hits you, and I mean also tan, right? So the more tan our bodies are, the less flaws that it shows. So there's many things that go into it, and I think that's something we need to really think about, especially if we have teenagers at home. They're looking at Instagram, Snapchat, all these different social media things, and they're seeing all these people who they think are perfect, and really they're not. I actually see, just through regular Facebook and Instagram, I see people time that when I see out in public, I'm like, oh, that's not what you looked like 2 weeks ago when I saw it in media. Like, so there are people out there who know what they're doing, who can change the lighting, who can change everything. And so that's something we really need to watch for. So we've prepared some pictures for you from real people who are showing the difference and what I'm talking about, lighting and posing and everything that goes with it. So you ready to roll, Trent?
Yeah. So here's I think a good picture that you found of um, a pose and just positioning of the camera, probably meaning everything.
Yeah. So this is definitely how you're holding your body. I mean, if you kind of look at her, like most people would just look and be like, oh, wow, she's fit. Look at that. But if you really dissect her picture, her arm is extended up, so it's angling down, which always makes everything look longer and thinner. Her abs, if you kind of look at her back arched, so her abs are more elongated, making it easier to tuck in the tummy and pull up through the abdomen. And she's standing with her knee pop, so she can kind of push that back and booty back further. So there's just a lot of posing that's going on with this picture. And the higher she holds it up, the more shaded she can make the bottom half also, which is going to create more definition just depending on where your shading is hitting, especially in your abdomen area. Okay, so again, these girls are all fit too. Like I said, I follow them online. But like her, you can see she's got her arm up, so she's able to kind of pull her back. Her back is arched, again, elongating through your abdominal muscles, and that also makes you straighter, so she's not hunched over, creating rules. Like, no matter how fit you are, they're naturally going to happen depending on how you're sitting, how your rib cage hit your hip. So it's just kind of, you can see she's got that pose. She's in that figure posing mode, getting ready. Like, the more you turn, the more you can thin out your side also. So she's got that pose just right.
Okay. So let's look at some side by sides now.
Okay. So this is an area that a lot of women I know struggle with, and it's worrying about the wrinkles on your legs, the cellulite, if you will. And my friend Kim here does it best. You can see, as you're looking at the screen, the picture on the left, nice, toned legs. They look like there's no flaws. Everything's great. And then if she just relaxes her leg just a little bit, like the picture on the right, you can see like she's a real woman. So no matter how fit you think something is, nobody is perfect. And I love that Kim is showing you here how just because what you might see on social media doesn't always look the same behind the scenes.
Some secrets to the trade here.
That's right. Okay, so on the left, she's definitely doing what I said earlier. She's standing tall, she's elongating, she's got her legs flexed. You can tell everything's in flex mode. And then on the right, she's just being real. She's bent over. And I actually screenshot that from a video that she did. She's actually putting her hand on her belly button, jiggling her stomach. So letting women know. And I love, like I said, I love this about her, just being real, letting people know, like, hey, we are not all walking around completely cut and trim always. It's really about how we hold ourselves. And this one, another one, same thing. She's on the left, sitting nice and tall. She's got her booty and her back popped back, elongating her muscles, and she's hiding her back. And then on the right, you can see, like I said, no matter how great your abs are, depending on how you sit can make a world of difference on how your abdomen looks. So she's slunched down, she's hunched over, and you can even see her legs again. They're not perfect like you would look on the left and be like, wow, like how does she stay so, I guess you would call it cellulite free. And the truth is, like, she doesn't. Again, it's really about how you carry yourself.
And I think what you're saying is it's not wrong to want to take, posed pictures, but those aren't necessarily the reality, right?
Right. I think it's great. I have some pictures on my social media. I'm not going to lie. Like if someone's taking a picture of me in my swimsuit at the beach or when we're having a family day or whatever, I'm going to readjust my because you want to look your best when someone's taking your picture. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. I think it's look and feel your best. But at the same time, you don't want to sell it as I'm perfect and this is how my body is. Like, and more so, I like to talk on this topic, not so much as to how to pose your body, which could be a whole new show, to elongate and look more fit and leaner and thinner than you are. There's nothing wrong with that. But I like to talk on this topic because I talk with my daughter on it a lot. And it's what we see when we're looking at these pictures and the truth that we tell ourselves. So a lot of times people might look at these pictures like of Kim's totally posed and perfect pictures, right? The ones on the left. People might look at those and start telling themselves, I can never look like that. Or I'm her age. Why don't I have legs like that? Or how do I get abs like that? This is not, and they'll start telling themselves wrong truths. Like I can never look like that. Or, I'm not good enough because I don't have this like that. And I think especially teenage girls and preteens can get caught up in that too. So I think the big thing we need to worry about is just tell yourself the right truth, right? If you're looking at someone on social media and you're like, oh, their life is perfect. Oh, look how gorgeous they are. Look, she has everything put together. That's probably not the truth that you should be telling yourself. She's just like you and I. She's a busy mom. She's someone who works a lot of hours. Is she someone who takes care of herself and takes pride in what she does? Yes, but it's not always perfect. My daughter just got a book at the Bread of Life this summer that she's reading, and I love it because it talks about a teenage girl whose parents get divorced, who has to move to a different school. She isn't getting friends. And she's seeing all this stuff on social media about all these people who are happy and saying that their families are happy and everything's perfect. And it talks about how what you see online isn't the truth. So how everything you see outside isn't exactly what's going on behind those closed doors. And I think it's really important for people to remember, like, we don't know what's going on behind everyone's four walls. All we have to go off of is what they're putting out there. And that's why we want to be really careful to not get caught in that comparison game. Because if I get caught comparing myself to another mom or another fitness professional, I'm going to get caught up in the negativity, right? And I'm going to start doubting myself, putting myself down, and I'm not going to celebrate the true truths that, I am in the position that I am for a reason. Like, God put me here because this was the job that He thought was great for me, right? This is the family He wanted for me. This is the house He wanted for me. This is the career path that He wants for me. And we have to remember that, we're that person for that job because that's where He put us. So comparing ourselves to somebody else isn't fair to ourselves. And we're not giving ourselves the grace that we need to, because that's not the life that we've been given. And we can work hard to look like those people, but the truth is those people don't look like those people. So that's something that we really need to remember is, don't get caught up in the comparison game, and don't get trapped in the Instagram girl world, because it's only going to set yourself up for disappointment.
Yeah, and I think people too. I think people naturally want to try to put what they view as their best selves out there. So, I mean, they're not going to put all the dirty laundry on social. And if I know I have family pictures coming up in a couple months, even though I'm probably going to be wearing a full button-up shirt and jeans, I'm going to want to work out those 2 months to try to get a little bit of a tan, so I don't look all pasty and bad for the photo.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, my niece gets married this weekend, and I know, just like every other wedding party, I know a lot of the girls have been tanning and working on how they're going to look in their dress. And I think that's great. And I think that, whatever we need to do to get ourselves on that health journey or to make ourselves feel good in a healthy way is great. But again, I always think, no matter how hard you work, when that day comes, the day comes. And so you're as good as you're going to get that day. So just celebrate it and make the best of it.
Yep. Awesome advice, Missy.
All right. And so, Trent, you have girls
Mm-hmm.
and they are dancers. And
Mm-hmm.
so, do you ever hear anything at home about like how dancers should be or how dancers should look coming from little girls' minds?
Probably should be careful how I answer this, but from what I hear, it's a lot better than it used to be.
Good.
So there isn't the constant pressure to not eat, and I really get up there in their programs where they dance, and so and then my other daughter also does gymnastics. She's so active. I mean, she could just eat all day, and it's not going to matter. But I mean, the other one, the older one, she's becoming a teenager soon. So I do worry about all that. So far, there's not all the pressure. I was floor mates with a girl at Wright State. Not, I guess that was long ago. It doesn't feel like that long ago. But, she was in the dance program at Wright State. And a lot of people don't realize this, but Wright State actually has an amazing dance program. People actually travel to go to it. And she was under all sorts of pressure to eat a rice cake because people were pointing out like fat, and she was rail thin. And so I've seen it in the dance world. From her perspective of her being under constant pressure at Wright State and the dance program there. And that was back in like 04, 05. It's probably not like that anymore. I mean, things have changed a lot since 04, 05 with thankfully how you can talk and treat women. So, but thankfully I haven't seen my girls go through that from their instructors.
Yeah, and that's awesome. I think it's really important too to make sure you have them in the right place with the right people. And I know, like, we're talking and we focused a lot, I said, on females, but this is something that's real for men too. Like, I know a lot of men will compare themselves. You see a lot of guys in the gym looking in the mirror, taking selfies of themselves, checking out their muscles. So there's a comparison game for men too. And I know it's a big thing with wrestling. In different schools, guys want to stay in their weight division and do whatever they need to do. And I just think that it's something that is everywhere. And a lot of it is the comparison, like I said. So it's, I think comparing can be our worst nightmare. I really do. I think it can be our worst nightmare and our biggest enemy is just getting trapped in that mindset.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. If you have any questions for us or there's a topic you want to hear about, if there's anything you want to put us on the spot about, we're always willing to make fools out of ourselves. That's what we're best at. So feel free to shoot us a text or make the comments below. And just remember, guys, you are all perfect just the way you were made. And just feel good about yourself, celebrate yourself, and always just do what you can to be the best you. Have a good day, everybody.
All right. Thanks, Missy.